President Xi and I had a deal whereby China was going to criminalize at the highest level the death penalty. The manufacturing of fentanyl has to do it. The deal miraculously disappeared with our rigged presidential election of 2020. It's too bad. Many people have died because of that election. Many people have died. One more thing to add to the stolen election and the list of disasters having to do with that stolen election. We cannot allow our elections to be rigged anymore. If you look at what's happened, Russia would have never attacked Ukraine. Israel would not have been attacked so viciously, so violently. It wouldn't have been attacked at all. Nothing would have happened. We wouldn't have inflation. We'd have a great economy. And now to add it all on, all of these things, these horrible things have happened, and now you have one more on your list of disasters. Thank you very much. Massive caravans of people are headed our way through Mexico. They're coming right up through our border. Crooked Joe Biden, who has no idea what's happening, who's too busy using law enforcement to go after his political opponent, me, has just no idea what to do about it. We're truly a nation in decline. Make America great again in 2024. We're going to bring it back, and we're going to bring it back fast. Thank you. Fox News gave up on Ron DeSanctimonious. He's turned out to be a disaster. Now they're pushing Bird Brain. You know who that is? Nikki Haley. They just haven't learned, and probably they never will. It's just not happening. Our country is under the highest level of threat ever, and yet all the DOJ and FBI want to do is go after Donald Trump. Let's go after him and Donald Trump's family. It's so sad. Our country's in bad shape. We're corrupt. We're not run properly. Our borders are open. Our elections are rigged. And what do they want to do? Let's go after Donald Trump. You'll see crime like you've never seen it before because all of these people coming in illegally from the southern border, they have bad intentions. So many of them have bad intentions. Got to watch our country. You don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry about my family. Focus on violent crime because there's a lot of it in this country, more than ever before. Thank you. Wow, my poll numbers continue to go up, leading my opponents, including Crooked Joe, by a lot. Make America great again. This is very interesting. Fulton County, Georgia acknowledges in a major consent decree that 3,600 individual ballots were duplicated. 36 batches of them were duplicated. That's a lot of crime. 3,600 votes. That's really a lot of crime. When are the rest of these facts coming out? We're all waiting. This is the beginning of an unbelievable period of time. This is massive voter corruption. Wow. Fake news. CNN, through a leak from the Department of Justice, has just reported that no charges will be filed in the much bigger than mine Crooked Joe Biden case having to do with documents. You know that case. And you take a look at what's happened there. We're living in a very, very corrupt country, so no charges are going to be filed against him. But on mine, where I have all sorts of immunities and all sorts of protections, he doesn't because he wasn't president then. They go after me, but they don't go after him. We are living in a very corrupt country. Why doesn't the total implosion, he admitted on the stand that he lied, of the Attorney General of New York's state star witness end this witch hunt once and for all? It's a political witch hunt, that's all it is. This so-called witness, a star witness, admitted on the stand that he lied. He said right on the stand, I lied. It looked like Perry Mason at the end of the show. And that I never told him or anyone else to inflate the numbers on my financial statements. In fact, the numbers are very low or very conservative, the exact opposite of what this ridiculous rigged case or lawsuit is all about. The fraud is by the judge and the AG, not by me, because they put in numbers that they knew were way too low. They valued my assets at a tiny fraction of what they should be. As an example, Mar-a-Lago, they valued it at $18 million. Mar-a-Lago at $18 million, and it could be 50 to 100 times that much. The judge created a fraud, and the AG created a fraud. They're the ones that should be prosecuted. Reynolds of Iowa has gone from a popular governor to the most unpopular governor in the entire United States of America. Not an easy feat. Her endorsement of Ron DeSanctimonious, who is 50 points down to me in the polls, has given him exactly 0 bounce. He's a wounded bird falling violently from the sky. I wonder what position Kim was promised in order to back someone who is so far down in the polls. I got Iowa first in the nation, ethanol security, and $28 billion for our great farmers in Iowa and Nebraska and Wisconsin and many other farming areas of our country. $28 billion for the farmers. I also protected Social Security and Medicare. DeSanctimonious and Nikki Haley did absolutely nothing. Make America great again. Congratulations to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson for having the courage and fortitude to release all of the J6 tapes, which will reveal completely what really happened on January 6th. Thank you very much, Mike. Great job. Very special congratulations to Javier Milei on a great race for president of Argentina. The whole world was watching, and I am very proud of you. You will turn your country around and truly make Argentina great again. Congratulations. Joe Biden is very concerned. He hoped he could find a Democrat judge to do his dirty work and illegally remove my name from the ballot. But the 4 biggest cases to strike us from the ballot have officially been defeated. The verdict is in. Joe Biden will be forced to face Donald J. Trump in the 2024 election, the most important election in the history of our country. And judging by the polls, we're going to beat him in a very massive landslide. We have no choice, because if we don't beat him, we're going to have a country that is a total disaster, where it's heading right now. It's already there. 2024 is our final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media. We will evict Joe Biden, crooked as you can be. Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country. We will evict him from the White House, and we will finish the job once and for all. We will make America great again. Remember, in the end, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. This is why we must win Iowa and end the Republican primary very quickly and move on to beating crooked Joe Biden so that we can once again make America great. We have to make America great because our country is in trouble. We're a failing nation. We're going to make it great again. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. No radical left Democrat politician has ever been able to explain why their party is so rabidly opposed to voter ID, and that's the biggest giveaway of all, that they are cheating on a monumental scale. They don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. For years, Democrat politicians have claimed that voter ID is racist, but there's nothing racist about an ID. And the suggestion that Democrat voters are incapable of getting driver's licenses is one of the most offensive ideas in American life today. What century are these radical Democrats living in? Americans of all colors and creeds are fully capable of obtaining identification, which is required to drive a car, buy a beer, see an R-rated movie, get on an airplane, get a bank account, check into a hotel, and even to get cold medicine at a pharmacy. Over 80% of Americans support voter ID, yet in the last Congress, every single Democrat in the House of Representatives voted to ban voter ID nationwide. So the House of Representatives votes, and all of the Democrats voted to ban voter ID nationwide. That's because they cheat. And with their policies, which are so bad and so destructive, especially to our cities, our inner cities, no wonder they have to cheat, because nobody could get elected with those policies. In the anti-Democrat party, only 2 things are sacred: open borders and no voter ID. They want open borders to destroy our country, and they don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. There's only one reason why you'd support either of these insane ideas, and that's because you intend to cheat like crazy, and that's what they do. When I'm reelected, we will secure our borders, and we will launch a nationwide campaign to get voter ID in every federal, state, and local election. What we really want to do is get down to paper ballots, one-day voting, and voter ID, and we're going to have safe elections again. Thank you very much. Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats are trying to pose as the defenders of democracy, but in fact, they're the ones destroying our democracy. Crooked Joe and his henchmen have tried to shut down free speech with a massive government censorship operation to silence their critics. They're putting Douglas McKay in jail for sharing a joking meme about Hillary Clinton 7 years ago. Nobody ever heard of anything like that. They have 4 bogus criminal cases trying to put their leading political rival, me, in prison. Let's put him in prison. He's leading by a lot. There's no way we can beat him. Let's put him in prison. They're running police state operations to infiltrate the Catholic Church as if it were a communist country. They're persecuting Christians and pro-life activists. They're persecuting anybody they want to persecute. They've labeled ordinary Republicans and parents at school board meetings as potential domestic terrorists. They're resettling millions of migrants into our communities, destroying our country like it's never been destroyed before. They're calling our citizens criminals. They rigged the last election. They rigged the Democrat primary, and they're trying to get their rivals thrown off the ballot everywhere they can. And they're constantly trying to delegitimize the Supreme Court of the United States and threatening conservative judges with violence. In short, nothing about Crooked Joe Biden and the anti-Democratic Party has anything to do with defending democracy. So if Crooked Joe wants to turn this election into a question of which candidate will defend our democracy and freedom, then I say, bring it on. Let's go, Joe, bring it on, because you are a corrupt person. You're the most corrupt president in our history. And by the way, the most incompetent president in our history. Because Americans don't like tyrants, we don't like fascists, we don't like communists, and we don't like Crooked Joe Biden. You just have to look at the polls. With your vote on Election Day 2024, America will be a free nation once again. We will be free and we will be great. Thank you. The stakes in this election could not be higher. Next November, you have a choice between war, poverty, and weakness under Crooked Joe Biden, or peace, prosperity, and strength under President Donald J. Trump. Just 3 years ago, our economy was booming, the world was safe, and America was strong. Annual incomes went up by more than $6,000 under the Trump administration, and they went down by about $6,000 under the horrible Biden administration, the worst in the history of our country. The 30-year mortgage rate reached a record low of 2.65%. We had no inflation, and we had gasoline down to $1.87 per gallon. I was also the first president in decades who didn't start a war, and I brought our troops back home. We defeated ISIS, and that was it. Everybody came back home where they should be. Under Crooked Joe Biden, the economy is in a shambles, and the world is going up in flames. Real incomes have gone down by $7,400 per family. Under Crooked Joe, gas prices are $4, $5, $6, and $7 a gallon. Cumulative inflation is nearly 20%, and mortgage rates are pushing a brutal 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%, and you can't get the money. We have war in Europe, we have wars in the Middle East, and we are stumbling into World War III. That's what's going to happen with this leadership, because they don't know what they're doing. The contrast could not be more stark. The road back to peace, stability, prosperity, and security for your family begins with a landslide Trump victory in 1 year from now. We will make America great again, greater than ever before. Thank you. One of my greatest honors as president was to terminate the globalist monstrosity known as Trans-Pacific Partnership my very first day in office. That's when I did it. TPP was an Obama-Biden sellout of the American worker, fully supported by Ron DeSanctimonious. The TPP would have massacred the U.S. auto industry, and it also would have been a catastrophe for family farmers, but thankfully for the American workers, I killed the TPP before it ever could kill you. I stopped it immediately right in its tracks. Now crooked Joe Biden is back trying to resurrect TPP under a different name, but it's really just TPP2. The entire concept is to make it easier to outsource American jobs and factories to Asia by reducing every possible barrier to shipping your jobs overseas while punishing American producers for doing business here at home. They want to really punish the American worker, including American auto workers. You're going to be out of business. You better talk to your unions because you're going to be out of business. Crooked Joe is doing the bidding of Wall Street, of foreign countries, and of everyone else who owns him. But he's stabbing auto workers, manufacturing workers, and American families in the back. Under the Trump administration, TPP2 will be dead on arrival. We will kill it immediately. We believe that other countries should pay for the privilege of selling their products to the American market. And we believe that the United States should not have to export American jobs to buy the loyalty of foreign nations that we are paying billions of dollars to in order to defend them. Vote for Trump and we will keep our auto industry intact. We will add jobs in our auto industry instead of losing it, because if you vote for Biden, your auto industry is gone. We will keep our factories and we will keep everything going the way it's supposed to. Our country is a failing nation under crooked Joe Biden. We're not respected anywhere in the world. Our country is a disaster. We're going to make our country great again. There will be no surrender. There will be no problem. It's going to happen fast. Thank you very much. These fake political cases brought against me could have been filed many years ago, but these crooked and biased prosecutors working closely with my political opponents in Washington, D.C., crooked Joe Biden and his group, waited and waited and waited, and then filed them right in the middle of my campaign for president. They could have filed them years ago. Why do you think that Fonnie and Alvin and Letitia and, of course, the deranged one, Jack Smith, took so long and very publicly, they leaked everything, started their work so late? They could have started it years ago. It's called election interference and prosecutorial misconduct. And it's all done because they want to win an election, even if they have to use illegal means to do it.